Every coin, round or metal, tells a story, or at least they should. Some tell stories of kings, others battles, others nations long gone. But every now and again, you hold one that carries something greater, a spirit, a legend, a piece of people's soul. Today, we're looking at the 2022 Korean 1-ounce silver phoenix medal from the Comsco Mint. This isn't just silver in your hands. This is a bird that has flown across centuries, a symbol that rises every time Korea rises. This is not my first phoenix from the Comsco Mint, and it will likely not be my last. Now a little bit on the phoenix. When most of us hear that word, we picture a fire, a bird consumed in flames, only to rise again from its own ashes. That is the Western phoenix. Destruction and rebirth, life eternal through fire. But in Korea, the phoenix is quite different. They call it the bunghwang, and the bunghwang does not live in fire. It lives in harmony. According to ancient records, the bunghwang appeared only when the land was at peace, when rulers were just, and when people prospered. It was said to descend from heaven, not to announce destruction, but to bless prosperity. To see the phoenix in Korea was to know that the golden age had begun. Over thousands of years ago, when the great kingdoms of the Korean peninsula flourished, the phoenix was painted on palace walls. It was carved into wood and woven into royal robes. Its long tail feather curled like streams of flowing water. Its wings stretched wide across silk banners, heralding balance and righteousness. The bunghwang was more than a bird, it was a promise. And promises matter in Korean history. Korea has known hardship, as we are well aware of. Invasions, occupations, wars that scarred its land and its people. But like the phoenix, it tends to rise, not by fire and ashes, but by endurance, by resilience, and by holding fast to its identity. So when the Comsco Mint, Korea's official mint, chose to honor its heritage, it chose wisely. They could have chosen the fierce tiger, which is a proud animal. They could have chosen a dragon, bold and beautiful. But they chose the phoenix, because it is a symbol not of conquest, but of peace earned, not of destruction, but of prosperity protected. And now that phoenix lives again, not on palace walls, not on royal robes, but struck into pure silver. The 2022 Korean phoenix glimmers with the artistry of a nation proud of its past and its future. Look closely and you'll see the detail, the flowing feathers, the strength in its wings, the balance in its form. This is not just bullion, my friends. This is history preserved in metal. This is the spirit of Korea in your hand. So when you hold your own Korean 1-ounce silver phoenix, being this year or any other, you're holding centuries of legend, resilience, and beauty. Comsco's Phoenix series is more than a collection, it's a testament, a reminder that real value lies not only in ounces and spot price, but in stories and symbols that endure. And if you want your stack to mean more than numbers, if you want coins with a soul, then maybe it's time for the Phoenix to rise in your collection. So let's place it on our 60-point scale to see if it lands in elite status or if it's worth landing in your collection. When we gaze upon the obverse, which is actually this side right here, we are met with the striking image of a phoenix mid-flight and the symbolic orb, what they call the Yaoju, a wish-granting jewel, often associated with dragons and phoenixes. It symbolizes wisdom, prosperity, and the power to grant blessings. We notice the ornate feathers that seem to cradle the text are feathers and not fire, reminding us that this is not the same cultural bird that heralded the West, but a harbinger of peace and balance. We also see a security feature up here that Comsco is quite known for. In fact, it predates the Britannia using it. In one direction, we have the Korean peninsula, not just South Korea, but also North, showing a desire for peace and rejoining of the two lands. In the other direction, we have the Bonghwang characters. It's a fantastic security feature. I once was at a performance where they were doing Arirang, which is a very, very traditional Korean tune, and there was a dancer there who was in her 80s in traditional garb. She was there whenever the Korean peninsula was sliced in half, the 38th parallel was made. She remembered being separated from her family, and her whole mission since then was to reunite that peninsula and see it together and united once again. It was her whole desire. She had a whole business built on that to bring the traditions of both North and South back together. So this medal here truly does warm my heart and brings back strong emotions of what a united Korea could look like. I scored a 10. It tells an amazing story. Now we look to the reverse, right here, where we are met with another stunning scene of balance. We have a set of regal phoenix beckoning each other's attention, surrounded by outstretched wings. We also notice the Republic of Korea and a more stylized phoenix in the 12 o'clock position. Toward the bottom, we have all the proper language to remind us of weight and purity. Everything here is in order and intentional. I absolutely love the amount of detail present. I scored a 9. Mintage is where we go next. Medals like this do not have a set mintage that I could find, which is honestly unfortunate, as it detracts a substantial amount of points, as we have to score it a neutral 5, bringing it to cultural significance. In Korea, they have the Phoenix Throne. They have the phoenix woven into the tapestry of Korean culture so much that if you removed it, there would be much less to look at. I'm not a historian, nor am I the expert on the ways of ancient Far East, but with a little research, you can tell that this is the perfect theme to represent the rich heritage of Korea, and I scored a 10. We now move on to collectability. One thing I love about Comsco products is quality. Their intention is behind every single mark. Take a look at this piece, for example. Just gorgeous. One of the things I love about a series is when a theme matches the issuing nation's culture, heritage, or history, and when the artwork changes every single year. This is a series that hits those marks very strongly. I scored an 8. I think it is highly collectible as a series, but must say that a capped mintage would elevate it to a 9 or 10. Our last area is uniqueness. We've seen many Phoenix types coins in the past, but almost all of them are Firebird type. Australia in particular has been very heavy on this theme of late. This is a symbolic bird of peace and is highly unique on that right alone. I'm not sure if this is the same as the Protectorate Vermilion bird like we see right here in Chinese culture, or a deviation of that cultural icon, but it seems in my eyes to be a category of its own. This paired with ever-changing artwork lands a 10 for uniqueness, bringing us to our final thoughts and score. This bird of peace glides to an elite 52 out of 60, meaning it has made it to the level of elite status. What a story this medal tells. What a hope it offers in the reunification, or at least peaceful transition to families across the 38th parallel, seeing each other again. This phoenix is certainly right for collectors and maybe one for stackers. It sure brings me joy every time I see it. Thank you, as always, for watching, and until next time, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.